And some auditors regularly scream profanity at police officers in a provocative way, and have otherwise engaged in activity that has caused some to be successfully prosecuted for disorderly conduct. In 2019, Jesus Padilla, known as Mexican Padilla on YouTube, was convicted on 3 counts of disorderly conduct following an incident in which he followed 3 San Antonio SWAT officers leaving a police station and bombarding them with profanity and homophobic slurs. Padilla contends that cursing, which he does in many of his videos, is constitutionally protected since he did not threaten any violence. In fact, courts have long held that profane language is constitutionally protected speech. In the famous case of Cohen versus California, the Supreme Court overturned a man's breach of the peace conviction after he was arrested for wearing a jacket reading "Fuck the Draft" in a Los Angeles courtroom. And in 2015, the Washington Supreme Court reversed a teenager's conviction for obstructing law enforcement for yelling, calling Seattle police officers abusive names, and using profanity while the officers investigated a disturbance, which has all led to criticism of First Amendment audits. In recent years, First Amendment audits have expanded into its own social media subculture, with self-appointed auditors live streaming their public encounters on YouTube and Instagram. To critics, these auditors are not standing up for constitutional rights as much as they are interfering with police officers, harassing public employees, and purposefully picking fights for clicks and cash.
Fucking punk ass bitch.
You have a great day, sir.
You're dismissed. You go. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. You're gonna leave before I do.
I'm on the sidewalk, sir. I can do whatever I want.
You're a punk, man. How many people's lives have you changed? How many people do you do that to that don't know their rights?
Thanks, sir. You have a good day.
No, I'm not going nowhere, man. I'm free.
Me neither. I'm staying
You
here.
are. Look, they're gonna tell you to leave.
Who's gonna tell me to leave?
Your supervisors. You don't get paid to just stand around, dumbass.
Yeah, I can stand here all day long.
51 years old, man. I got kids your age. You're gonna come up and try to punk me?
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you weren't trying to break into the place.
No, I want to make sure you go do your job, or you're
That's why
dismissed.
initially I
Kick
wanted-
rocks, you're dismissed.
That's why initially I wanted
That's
to change
why
it.
you got checked.
And then once
You got
told
owned.
me-
You got owned.
Once you told
You
me
got
to keep going,
owned.
then
You
I
got
didn't
owned. No,
want
you
to
got
break
owned.
into the
No,
place.
you got owned. You got owned. You're dismissed now.
Thank you.
Okay? No, I'm not going nowhere. You're gonna leave before I do. I guarantee you that.
I got all day.
Sit there, detain me for what?
No, you're not detained anymore.
Oh, I know, but because I owned you.
Okay, you own me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just do public photography. You got to get something being accountable. All the guilty ones always find a problem with the camera.
No, here's the thing.
No, here's the thing. I don't care, man. I don't want to hear it.
All right, have a good day.
I'm not going nowhere. You guys are all going to leave before I do.
So I was talking to this guy because I thought
No, he detained me because I was walking by taking pictures, and I told him California Penal Code 148.G, I'm keeping you accountable and I'm checking on my employees, which you guys are my employees, and now you guys are all dismissed. Yes, you are. Yes, you're my employee. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're my employee. Yes, you are. You work for the public, dumbass. You're a public servant. That's right. Don't intimidate me. I know, you're going to leave. Go.
I'm not gonna leave. This is where I work.
Exactly. You work for the public. Go.
Yeah, for the public.
Go. That's me.
I'd like a double cheeseburger with fries. You asked if you can help me. I'm telling you, you can help.
Doing video of me.
Do what?
Who the fuck are you guys?
Who the f are you?
Well, what do you video me for? Turn it off.
Because I can.
Huh?
Because
Why?
I can.
Who you with?
We with
Huh?
myself. Don't touch her shit now.
Don't touch your shit. I'll buy fuck both of you guys. You
Okay,
videoed me going
okay,
around the
I
block.
did.
Put you in that dirt. You
touch
what?
that one more time,
Okay.
I'll put you in that dirt.
Yeah.
Head first. It don't matter who we work for either.
Don't video me.
I'll video you. You videoed right now
don't
4
give a
different
shit.
times. Then
Suck
shut the
my
fuck up
dick. I
then.
don't give a fuck.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you
Get
guys.
it out of your
I'll
mouth.
fuck both of you guys up at the same time.
You come do it then, Big Daddy.
Strange turn of events at the Brentwood post office today involving a costume man and a lady with a cane that led to self-described First Amendment activists caught on camera attacking a customer. And this apparently was all not some setup for some reality show, even though it looks like it. Fox 11's Haley Winslow is live with a story you'll see only on Fox 11. Haley, we all got to bear with you because there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, the video is crazy. It gets really hard to watch. And this all happened 8:30 in the morning, right when the post office opens here in Brentwood, and ends with one man getting rushed to the hospital and now filing a lawsuit.
It was so surreal and so out of the ordinary and shocking to see.
You guys get off!
Violence at the Brentwood post office as a camera crew puts a customer in a chokehold and stomps on the man's head.
All I could think of, that anybody would think of, is George Floyd, the guy who was having trouble breathing.
Josh Paris captures it all on his phone. It was 8:30 a.m. Paris checks his P.O. box and sees a costumed character on his way out.
All right, what are you out here for at the post office?
Freedom of expression.
Freedom of expression.
First Amendment rights. Constitution.
He and his friends are self-proclaimed First Amendment auditors, part of an online group called Impact Media that stand for freedom of speech and peaceful assembly. Though this was anything but.
What do you call yourself?
What the hell?
Shadow Bug Man?
No, Shockwave.
Fitting because 15 minutes later, he and his troops definitely send shockwaves through the post office. It starts with this elderly woman hitting the First Amendment defenders with her cane, trying to shoo them away. Paris says a bystander named Robert tries to help the woman, and the violence quickly escalates.
Thrown to the ground, strangled around his neck with somebody's arm, and a foot stomped on his head.
Paris says he and a few others call 911, and one of the attackers runs away. But when LAPD arrives, that First Amendment defender returns, camera rolling. Officers quickly put he and two of his buddies in handcuffs while paramedics rushed Robert to the ER.
Where he was having trouble moving his neck, and he was hyperventilating. And as the few minutes went by, his breathing got more labored, and I could see he probably needed medical attention, which he finally got.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech, not freedom to be violent. You know, witnesses here thought that this was all a Hollywood stunt, that or a very bad dream. And to be fair, it did have all the elements with the stormtroopers, the elderly woman with the cane, and the very violent brawl. And Robert says, so I've talked to him several times today, he says, anybody who thinks that this is a setup can have a look at my medical records. Reporting live here in Brentwood, I'm Haley Winslow.
This government agency, Hour of California, says that they are trying to get the strongest reaction they can in order to get more clicks. First Amendment auditors aim to provoke reactions that can be monetized on social media. Agencies become unwitting actors in confrontational footage that garners attention.
Well, is it a constitutional right or is it baiting law enforcement? We're talking about people recording police on their own turf.
They call themselves First Amendment auditors, and sometimes these encounters are confrontational. Daniel Warmus of Alden does a lot of these videos. He recently sat down with News 4 Investigates. Luke Moretti reports.
Can I help you?
See this sign?
Get your hands off.
You can see the sign.
On behalf of the Erie County family, I'd like to thank you, Kay, for your cordialness and perfect public service.
You need to leave the area.
I went into it thinking maybe 35% of them might have had a bad ego or might have come across as a jerk. And after doing it, I'd say that number is probably around 75%.
Daniel Warmus is on a mission.
I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification.
You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told him, don't embarrass me.
He's testing the limits of constitutional protections under the First and Fourth Amendments.
Yeah, I'm working on a story. Got to get a little information in.
His YouTube channel, Auditing Erie County, has nearly 20,000 subscribers. His videos get thousands of views and hundreds of comments.
I respect law enforcement completely.
Warmus travels the region with a cell phone camera, documenting encounters with police on their own public turf.
They don't own property. It's public property.
From Amherst.
Get your hands off me.
Over here.
Get your hands off me.
You want to see this sign?
To Dunkirk.
Am I being detained?
You're not being detained right now.
To Cheektowaga.
Do you want to leave or do you want to get arrested?
To Salamanca.
You don't need to take pictures inside the vehicles.
Why not?
Because
A lot of people say, I can't believe you do this. You got a target on your back. I can't believe that, aren't you afraid that they're going to mess with you?
Warmus will show up at municipal locations and start recording with his phone. He calls it an audit, a concept that's spreading across the country. Not surprisingly, his presence prompts questions, even suspicion, like his visit to the town of Amherst Police and Courts Complex.
We certainly have a responsibility to keep our composure.
Warmus felt that he was within his legal right to access and record outside of the complex, but police challenged him.
It says restricted area.
This public property over here is not restricted access. There's no sign.
It says restricted area.
Warmus later called town supervisor Brian Culpa, and Culpa called him back.
Because a lot of times, you know, a mayor or supervisor or chief, they're not going to call you back.
If they're in a private area, right, you know, if they were in a locked or secure area, if they were inside a secured office environment, that would be a different animal. But if they're in public space, then, you know, they're residents or citizens that, you know, have the right to be there.
The U.S. Capitol on January 6th of last year was not among the places Warmus had a right to enter, according to the U.S. Justice Department. Warmus was arrested and charged with knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. Federal court papers included photographs of him at the Capitol that day. Warmus declined to talk specifically about the case against him because it's still pending.
Nobody's ever brought it up on an audit or nothing. I'm sure they know.
These days, he's busy focusing on auditing local municipalities, mainly police agencies. And he isn't alone. There are others with similar YouTube channels.
And what they really want is for you to engage with them and to make you look bad.
Across New York State, police are on to this unique social movement. Patrick Phelan is the executive director of the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police.
You need to have an understanding of how to react to somebody doing that to you, and understand that the best thing that you can possibly do is just not engage with them.
Daniel Warmus of Auditing Erie County says he tries to keep his encounters as professional as possible. He believes there's a credibility component at stake on both sides of the camera for him and his audience, and the police being tested.
I would consider it investigative journalism. I'm investigating whether the towns or the police departments are going to respect my First Amendment rights to record in public. I want to highlight good police officers. That's my goal. I'm out there to highlight good police officers, but on the aspect of, am I out there to embarrass them? I would much rather use humility.
If you just help me out and tell me who you are, who you're working for, whatever you're doing, maybe this will go a little better. But this is just a random guy taking pictures of police cars.
Is it illegal?
I didn't say it was illegal, but it's strange.
For police, it's really a training issue to make sure that you don't engage with these folks. If they're legally in a place where they're allowed to be and they're recording, just let them do it.
Daniel Warmus and others who do these First Amendment audits say they have a right to test police when it comes to their restraint and knowledge of the Constitution. And while it's ruffling some feathers here in Western New York and across the country, there's a social media audience out there with a big appetite for more. Luke Moretti, News 4.
Estimating the exact number of First Amendment auditors is difficult due to the decentralized nature of the practice. But based on available information, it's likely there are a few thousand active individuals across the United States.
He's currently out on bond for the Block Police Department for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct charges that he has with the city. 2018 at North Charleston PD on his criminal history. He has a cocaine charge. He was convicted for 1 year, time served, 95 days he served.
What year was that?
2018.
Okay.
2019, failure to appear for a misdemeanor. That was in Charleston County. 2019, he was charged. Let me make sure this is a conviction. Yeah. So he was charged with shoplifting in North Charleston PD, possession of marijuana, assault on police officer while resisting.
That was dropped.
Failure to appear after a misdemeanor, malicious injury to real property, valued less than $2,000. He was convicted on 11/28/2018. He was convicted for the shoplifting on 2/25/19. He was convicted for the malicious injury on 2/25/19. convicted for the marijuana at 3/4/19. He was arrested again in 2019 in Collington County, violation of county ordinance, resisting arrest, malicious criminal offense. He was convicted, fine, it was suspended. Malicious criminal offense, he was convicted, fine, suspended, 2019. 2020, he was arrested for shoplifting in Walterboro. 2020 again in March. Never mind on that, it was a non-conviction for grand larceny. 2021, Collin County, he was convicted for public disorderly conduct. 2022, criminal domestic violence, second degree, was a non-conviction on that, so you could leave that in there. Also have some prior arrests from another state out of Indiana. He is currently wanted out of Indiana on several different warrants.
Those the ones for the fugitives.
It is.
Okay.
So I'll read those off, but I'll read some other ones too. I just want to make sure. So he was charged in 2003 for Carmel Police Department for possession of marijuana. That was a misdemeanor. He was guilty. He just served a fine, or a fine he was given. In 2004, Marion County Sheriff's Office, possession of marijuana / dealing in marijuana, severity unknown. In 2005, Indianapolis Police Department, charged with criminal recklessness, Firearms Act, no license, possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. He's found guilty, sentenced to 365 days, probation 355 days, suspended 355. Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Carmel Police Department, he was charged with driving under suspension, possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office in Indiana, possession of marijuana, hash oil, ×2. 2013, Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, it was time served, or served time in jail. It says unknown. Carmel Police Department, was charged with carrying a handgun without a license. That was dismissed. So you can cut out.
There's only 2 of those in there.
Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Possession of marijuana felony, he was found guilty, sentenced to 2 years. Suspended. And then he charged possession of marijuana, felony, just carrying a handgun without a license. So carrying a handgun without a license, felony, guilty. That was the Carmel Police Department. 2013. 2013, it was a court order transport from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. 2014, non-compliance, work release. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is what he's actively wanted for now. Is evasion of privacy, resisting law enforcement, possession of cocaine or narcotic, possession of marijuana, hash, oil, and drug paraphernalia, and disorderly conduct. They have a full extradition from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
Current.
Pretty substantial criminal history, Your Honor. And, the state would request a no bond.
And what are we currently out on bond on?
He is currently out on bond for Blackville for resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct.
First Amendment auditors getting clicks refers to individuals who record themselves in public spaces, often while interacting with government officials or employees, with the aim of provoking a reaction to generate views and engagement on social media platforms. Their content typically revolves around exercising their right to film in public under the First Amendment, but it often includes controversial or confrontational interactions. Key points about First Amendment auditors and their pursuit of clicks. Motivation. Critics argue that many of these audits are less about defending First Amendment rights and more about creating sensational content. By provoking strong reactions from authorities, auditors generate material designed to attract viewers on platforms like YouTube. Tactics. Auditors often employ leading questions and provocative behavior to provoke a negative response. The footage is frequently edited to align with their narrative, sometimes omitting context. Ethical concerns. This approach raises ethical questions as it can result in harassment or intimidation of public employees. Additionally, the edited videos may misrepresent the true nature of the interactions. Legal considerations. While filming in public is generally protected by the First Amendment, there are limits. Auditors may face legal consequences if their behavior crosses into disruption, threats, or trespassing on restricted areas.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't. Hey, get off of me. Get off of me.
And then the conversation with that officer, the back and forth, is sort of the draw of the video and the genre.
Staring at me like you're gonna do something.
One of the more controversial auditors online is Christopher Ruff. He describes himself as a citizen journalist, and his focus is on impoverished communities where he believes gentrification is happening at a rapid rate, and the police are the tip of the spear of that effort. Christopher Ruff goes out at night, often with an entourage of folks, looking for police interactions, and he films them from up close until the police tell him to move back, and that almost always creates a conflict between him and the officers.
Don't you touch the car.
I never touched it.
Matter of fact, just go ahead and step away.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm straight.
Yeah.
You're a coward, by the way.
Why'd you touch my penis?
It's a nice speech, but you're still not coming in.
Let the record show that you just battered me.
Step back.
And you're using... Oh! Oh!
I plead the third. I played the third. Third minute. Yeah, you can't stop and ID me.
You're gonna call the cops. They hit you.
No, go ahead.
You're gonna call the cops.
Go ahead and hit me. You said you want to do hand-to-hand
You're
combat.
gonna call.
Can I see your pilot's license? I'm gonna need you to step out of the car for me.
Photography is not a crime! Photography is not a crime! Photography is not a crime!
Welcome to the John Legato Show. I'm John Legato. Merry Christmas.
Previously on the Random Patriot.
Let's meet Dover Marshal Captain Colin Lillard.
But you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me that. You didn't ask me. I had business. Just get out. I'm telling you, come back the off of you too. Dude, you're not gonna curse if I place you with a chair. Freedom of speech. You're under arrest. Disorderly conduct. I'm saying freedom of speech. Yeah, okay. All right. You got tough on you? All right. Yeah, I said you guys get out.
Now you're telling us to get out.
I'm publicly.
Okay. Videotaping.
Random Patriot gets arrested, and he has a court date in which he'll attempt to prove that the cops violated his First Amendment rights. But before that court date, he gathers up his posse and returns to the scene of the crime. Now, why would he do that? To prove that he's innocent. But it is the wrong time and place to do that.
Why don't you touch the car?
I never touched it.
Matter of fact, just go ahead and step away.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm straight.
Yeah.
You're a coward, by the way.
Yeah.
You arrest people for saying.
Well, you know what? It's disorderly conduct.
No,
if you
it's
say
not.
it in the right context.
No, it's not.
In the right place.
No, it's not.
Dude,
I promise you, it's not. Can I tell you a couple things that?
Well, listen. I know the case law on it. Okay?
Oh, what is it then? Well, then why'd you arrest someone over it if you know the case law?
Because it's in a public place.
It's allowed to be. Cohen versus California was in a city hall. Cohen versus California was in a city hall. You dumbass. You ignorant piece of shit who arrests free Americans for saying. Who arrests free Americans for saying. You better back off.
You threatening them?
Get out of my face.
Now, anyone, be they law enforcement or not, who's attempting to de-escalate a tense or aggressive situation by walking away, should not essentially be chased by the aggressor while being cursed and threatened.
It's allowed to be. Cohen versus California was in a city hall. Cohen versus California was in a city hall. You dumbass. You ignorant piece of shit who arrests free Americans for saying. Who arrests free Americans for saying. You better back off.
You threatening them?
Get out of my face. Get out of my face, you coward.
I'm here. You're here.
You step to me. You step to me. You have bad breath. Get the fuck out of my face.
Nice, ain't it?
You're a coward little bitch. You are a coward, anti-American bitch.
You don't even
You're
know.
anti-freedom. You ain't nothing.
Why do y'all hate? Why y'all hate on
You
cops?
ain't nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Frauditors are logically delusional. I mean, you have a gang of angry men led by their aggressive leader who is challenging a police captain who's attempting to de-escalate by walking away. Now, wouldn't you want to determine their identities prior to some violence? And by the way, it is not illegal for any police officer to run license plates.
Get out of my face, you coward.
I'm here. You're here.
You step to me. You step to me. You have bad breath. Get the fuck out of my face.
Nice, ain't it?
You're a coward little bitch. You are a coward, anti-American bitch.
You don't even
You're
know.
anti-freedom. You ain't nothing.
Why do y'all hate? Why y'all hate on
You
cops?
ain't nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Now, the police captain did his part in de-escalating by walking away. But what does the gang do? They follow him into City Hall to incite chaos and disrupt services.
They're trying to work in here. They're trying to work in here.
Do not touch me.
Well, dude,
Do not touch me. Cohen versus California was inside City Hall. That's what I'm doing.
Well, go do it in California, man.
No, that's a Supreme Court case rule for the whole United States, bro.
Okay.
Don't touch me. Get the out of my face, too.
Dude, okay, see, that's what just got this last guy.
Do it.
In jail.
Do it.
I mean, we got ladies here that are non-law enforcement.
It doesn't matter. It's free speech, bro.
So is it free speech, or when does free speech become a crime? When does some idiot screaming inside a business become unlawful?
Disorderly conduct, as I said, one of the most common offenses, but really, how can you get it? Uses abusive or offensive language or gestures to provoke somebody else.
You're a coward, by the way. You dumbass. You ignorant piece of shit. Get out of my face, you coward.
Uses abusive or offensive language or gestures to provoke somebody else. So this would be you're shouting kind of profanities, you're saying something that's going to cause another person to react. You're provoking that person. In law school, we call this fighting words. So if you're shouting fighting words at somebody else, something that would cause a normal person to respond or to react to those words.
Fighting words. Is this where you approach someone and you literally provoke them into violence?
Yes, like slapping them with gloves across their face before
My
a
dear
duel.
sir.
Exactly.
Fighting words is provoking someone to hurt you, perhaps.
That's exactly right. That you impugn their honor to the point that a rational person would have to respond by slapping you in the face.
Got ladies here that are non-law enforcement.
It doesn't matter. It's free speech, bro. Freedom. Learn it.
Listen, dude,
It's freedom. Get out of people's face. You're making a bigger scene than I ever was. Get out of here.
Is this what you need to have meaning in your life, really?
Freedom, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Is this your idea of
I
freedom?
need freedom. Well, when I see someone like you taking it away from people,
This is the reason people lose their freedoms. It's because they don't handle
because people like you. Because people like you don't understand. If you didn't step in, we'd have no issue here. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. You are the reason I'm here.
No, look, you'd be doing it somewhere else. Okay? You'd be doing
if they did what you did, I will be. I sure will. Don't touch me. Get out of my face. Stop touching me. It's on 5 cameras.
How about if you just step back a little bit?
How about you? Stop getting in my face.
Dude, I can get anywhere.
If you kiss me, I'll make out with you so much harder than you make out with me. I will give you so much tongue if you do. Come here, baby. Come here, handsome.
Touch me.
Give me a kiss. Give me a little kiss.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Ask Your Attorney. So we got a question from the audience that I thought was really, really important. It has to do with freedom of speech. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that there's probably some limitations within that. We've had, random people. I can say whatever I want. I can do whatever. Well, I don't know about that. So
depends on what you mean by freedom of speech, because you can say whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
But there may be consequences to that.
All right, what's your name?
I'm not telling you.
Okay. Well, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Disorderly.
For disorderly?
You get what you wanted.
How am I disorderly? How am I disorderly? How am I disorderly?
Y'all getting premium YouTube.
How am I disorderly?
Using foul language in public
I'm
place.
allowed.
Number 5, refuses to obey a lawful order or to maintain a safe distance away. So
how am I disorderly?
Using foul language in public place.
I'm allowed to.
City Hall employees have duties. They're conducting their business. They're working for the city.
They're trying to work in here. They're trying to work in here.
Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Cohen versus California was inside City Hall. That's what I'm doing.
Well, go do it in California, man.
No, that's a Supreme Court case rule for the whole United States, bro.
Okay.
Don't touch me. Get the out of my face, too.
Dude, okay, see, that's what just got this last guy.
Do it.
In jail.
Do it.
I mean, we got ladies here that are non-law enforcement.
It doesn't matter.
Notice that the frauditor is holding up a sign in his right hand. Notice the language on the sign in the lower left-hand corner.
You get what you wanted.
How am I disorderly? How am I disorderly?
Using foul language in public
I'm
place.
allowed.
Meet Morgan Wilson of North Carolina, who's visiting Helen, Georgia.
Open container, I guess, is against city ordinance and or Helen, Georgia rules. So I'm getting a citation and letting everybody else know that is on their way down here. If you drink in public, you will be cited, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Even though they don't tell you.
They don't tell you, but ignorance of the law is no excuse, so I will side with them on that. However, I do think it's kind of lame, but at the end of the day, they got a job to do, so it's one of those deals that really sucks, but I'll come down and pay it later, I guess.
Don't cuss in public.
What?
Are you grab my phone, baby?
Yeah, I am. This isn't okay.
Can you?
Hey, so Morgan's getting arrested because he just cussed in public.
Random Patriot passively resists his arrest and makes the captain use the force necessary to get him to booking. Now, the entire issue of frauditors interpreting the laws is proof to me that they do not care truly about the Constitution. They only care about creating chaos and conflict. Now, that's my take on it. What's yours? John Legato's show is being brought to you from right outside the gates of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune in beautiful North Carolina. If you like this show, please subscribe and like. Semper Fidelis.